Alright, looks like we're filming. Hey guys, my name is Nuclear Caudillo, or you can call me Nuke for short. Um, this is my first video, so please bear with me. I just wanted to introduce myself first. I've been posting actively on Twitter for a couple of years now. And recently I made a thread about how my dating experiences were in the city of Dallas. I moved here in 2021, January 2021. And the other day I decided to write a thread basically just outlining every little lesson and nuance I learned while I was dating. I've always been kind of out there, I was in the red pill space since 2013, the days of Roosh V Forum, and what else? Return of Kings, and I was on the blogs. Just another guy looking for answers. The answers I was given did not work for me, so just like a lot of you, I went and found answers, and throughout the years, I joined the military. I served as a Navy nuclear operator for 6 years. Tough career, but a lot of lessons learned. And ever since 2013 to now, which is about 10 years, I've been learning and kind of just testing red pill theories personally and by observation through 10 years of experience of dating. But the last 2 years, I moved to a city and I just decided that I wanted to date and just really get out there and enjoy myself. I had been deployed a lot in my early to mid 20s. I was tired of not having a social life, and then the pandemic, which made things very difficult. So I decided to just be aggressive and attack everything I could, every concept I could, and take lessons from other, playboys, Don Juans, Casanovas, whatever you want to call them, and put those theories and concepts to work, and it really did work, and I learned so much. I kind of went overboard, honestly, and then I wrote this thread just saying, hey, this is what I've experienced in the last 2 years. Obviously I learned a little bit before that, but the last 2 years, this is what I experienced. So what do you guys think? And apparently it made waves. A lot of people agreed. It messed with a lot of people too, because a lot of people can't really understand the truth about dating, and because they don't have the experience or the tools to understand women, or how these things go. So I'm glad I was able to share that, and it caused so much popularity, and there was such a need for true authentic experience of someone that is the man in the arena figuring this stuff out. Even though there's countless books and guides and videos on this, I went out there and I just learned myself. I cleared my brain. I said, I'm going to do this. I have some of the concepts down, but I want to learn it myself. I want to figure this out myself. So that's basically my introduction. Obviously, as time goes on, I'll probably say more about myself than I can. But basically, that's it in a nutshell. Topic today, something that's, I think, kind of important, especially for this time of year, as women tend to start realizing that the guys they try to fast track relationships in during the holidays, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, stuff like that, aren't what they wanted. So there's a lot of like letting go, women letting guys go, and it's honestly, my DMs are full of guys saying, what should I say next? This girl's, doesn't want to meet up, or she's saying I'm not the one for her, or whatever. And I have friends, obviously, that go through breakups. The holidays are tough on relationships a lot of the times. Or if you're a guy that's spinning plates and you've had several plates that just dropped on you, and you're back to square one, or you're back to zero, or you had a long-term casual plate which you really liked and you saw potential and they also dropped you. Essentially, what happens and what should you do when a girl just lets you go And why is it always abrupt? And why is it always not on your terms? Why do you never see it coming sometimes? That's what I want to discuss, because it is that time of year where women start dropping guys pretty. At least for most of the people I know and myself, a lot of my friends, we tend to, have to deal with a lot of girls disappearing around this time of year. So let's talk about why women leave abruptly, or why they seem to leave abruptly. So when women leave abruptly, it's hard because we can't tell what's happening. I've had amazing weekends with women where we go out, we make memories. We're holding hands, we're kissing in public. We're watching movies. We're going to coffee shops. Amazing weekends with girls. We're walking our dogs together. All these great things. Just for at the end of the weekend or 2 or 3 days later, you get a paragraph text or a call or a sit down talk. Hey, I don't think this is gonna work. And I'm telling you right now, as experienced as I am, it always catches me off guard as well. But why is that? Why is it that girls leave abruptly? Here's where a lot of guys struggle, especially guys that are like very, how do you say, very high level achievers. They have this thing, they have a lot of ownership, so any mistake or failure in their life, they tend to throw themselves, and they have a lot of trouble to when they're doing everything right, and suddenly a girl who, whatever she was to you, girlfriend, casual, potential, whatever, just out of nowhere, when things seem to be going good, just disappears. And I'm here to say that most of the time, it's not you. And I know that's really hard. That sounds like coping. I know that sounds like, hey, screw you. It was me. I want to take responsibility. I want to be better. I mean, that's a valiant and cool thing to say, but you have to understand that women are not like us. They have different motivations and different pressures in the dating market than we do. So they have to act accordingly, and we need to start thinking about why those things happen. Besides, I should have been better. I fucked up. I didn't do this for her. I didn't do that for her. It usually doesn't have to do with you. Obviously, it could. You could do something very, very bad. Obviously, this takes a little bit of nuanced thinking. But if you had a great weekend together or a great couple of days together and she's just gone out of nowhere, just realize you probably weren't the biggest reason. You yourself and your behavior, you weren't the biggest reason she left, right? So look at my notes real quick. First things first, you need your what you're gonna do, right? First, let's talk about that. So whenever a girl even toys with the fact of leaving you or saying, I don't know if this is gonna work, remove your attention immediately. There's no negotiation right now. Her mind is already made up. There's no negotiation. And why do I say this? If you don't, if you keep trying to get her back, if you trying to keep negotiating, or keep whatever you have to do, all it does, it feeds her ego, which is, you don't want that, right? And number two, it confirms what she thought or could have thought all along, that you are supplicating and you're beneath her. You don't want that. So no matter how hard it hurts or how much you want closure, always, always, always remove attention immediately. Forget that she exists. That's not to say don't go through a mourning period. That's not to say, depending on how important this girl was, that's not to say, hey, I'm going to completely forget about this person, completely no back door, this is it, I'm done, right? Don't do that, but also remove your attention. If that means unfollowing, if that means no more text back, if that means no more seeing her, whatever you have to do, remove your attention immediately. You have to do that, or else she's going to see you as less than her. Remember, she is banking on that you turn out to be you know, not as good as you think. Because if she finds out that you're pathetic and you're in her DMs after, asking, why did you leave me? Or can we get back together? Can we talk about this? It's just going to confirm what she thought all along. And you don't want that. And that's not true because you're not that type of guy. So, reasons she left you. First off, it doesn't really matter, right? You have to have other girls in your rotation, or you have to have someone or something that you had on standby in case she would leave, because even though that doesn't sound moral, it doesn't sound right to the average person, think of it this way: when she leaves, no one's gonna come console you, no one's gonna come help you through this, no amount of therapy, nothing. You're on your own. So why not just be selfish and take initiative to always have something else? That doesn't mean don't take a couple days off to mourn, depending on how important you were. If it was your girlfriend, obviously you're not going to be excited or happy. You're going to maybe be a little destroyed, right? Maybe it'll take a week, 2 weeks, a month. That does not mean sulk and do nothing and become a mess for a month or a week. Maybe the first couple days you're in shock, you're suffering, whatever. But as time goes on, you have to get up and do and move on. Obviously that's it's easier said than done, right? But you have to look for other girls. You have to get up and go to work. Life keeps moving on. You have to do this, right? And you got to understand that your brain is now going into overdrive. Your brain is imagining scenarios. Your brain is thinking, what could I have done to be better? Your male side of your brain that's telling you, hey, it's your fault. You should have, done this different. You should have valued her more or whatever. That's also going into overdrive. So you have to step outside of that. It's going to happen. It's part of being a man, right? You have to step outside of that. Let your brain tire itself out. And then slowly move out of that kind of like algorithm that your brain keeps trying to make it that's your fault and you should have done better. You have to move past that and just give it time, And one way to accelerate this process is to talk to more girls. Even if you're just not feeling up to it, trust me, you will feel better. You will defeat this algorithm running in your mind. There's just spinning, the things like, hey, you could have done this for her. You should have paid more attention to her. Maybe better gifts. Maybe better this. Maybe you shouldn't have talked to that other girl. Those kind of things are going to be running in your mind constantly, and you have to defeat them. And also, you got to understand that's normal, but you have to step outside of that and continue with your life, or else, guess what? You're never going to forgive yourself for the lack of dignity you have during a breakup. I'm sorry to say, you'll never forgive yourself, and why would you do that? All right, so enough about that. Let's go into some possible reasons why she might have left you, right? From my experience, reasons that a girl might leave you. Let's say you're dating a girl and things are great. She's in your frame. She likes you. She's doing all these things for you, right? And then she leaves you all of a sudden, right? After a certain level and a certain amount of experience and a certain amount of success with women, other women are really good at noticing that you have success with women in your demeanor, the way you are, the way you just move, just your whole life will scream at her. This guy has multiple women, or has the ability to get multiple women. And I can't be replaced. A lot of women, that gives a lot of anxiety, but it's also arousing to them. Problem is, some girls, especially if they're girls that haven't or have dealt with these kind of behaviors from men and have lived through being cheated on or all that stuff, they will leave you if they just feel like the relationship, if they want a relationship, is not moving forward, or they will leave you if they're tired of the alpha kind of like playboy vibe, and they want a guy that's kinder, softer. See how it's just you don't know unless you stalk her profile. Which, why are you doing that? You won't know. Just realize that that could be a reason, but we don't care. these are just possible reasons so that are outside of you. You are who you are, and you enjoy life the way you want to enjoy life. And if she's not with it, then she has to go. It's simple as that, right? And if she wants to leave abruptly, great, less drama. Um, Another thing, maybe incongruency. Maybe she found out something about you very, very late, and she just couldn't come to grips. It could be that you don't have as much money, or you're not. You told her that you're the only girl you're seeing, and you're seeing three. I know that most girls are aroused by these kind of things, but some girls are not. Some girls are good girls, and they just want you all for themselves, and they want to, start a family. They want to find a man, and you fit all those boxes, except that you are, a womanizer, and you have to deal with that. So don't. You are who you are. It's what you want, and if you're not ready for a relationship, or if you want a relationship but things are moving too fast, hey, it's what you want. It's not what anyone else wants. So if she can't handle that, then she can go. Now we get into more darker things that have nothing to do with you. So there's STDs. Sometimes when you have a girl that you've been seeing, she'll flake, or she said, "Oh, I can't see you tonight," or this and that. A lot of times, in my experience, women have canceled, or I've seen friends kind of have to deal with the repercussions of trusting women to have unprotected sex with them, and then the girl catches an STD and he doesn't. So it's very likely that she has an STD or something up. I had a girl ghost me because she had an STD and she just didn't know what to do. So she was embarrassed. So she said, "We're not working out." And then after some prying, she told me, "Yes, I have so and so disease." And I told her, "Okay, I'm sorry, I can't see you anymore." In a nice way. But that's another reason that she might have left you. So see how there's so many more reasons. Another reason is that maybe her husband came back into the picture. Maybe the whole time she was separated, or she had a relationship and you were the side guy and you had no idea. The list goes on, but most of the time it's not going to be you. I know it's hard to believe. You need to move on and find other girls. Now, here is where it gets a little tricky. Should I keep her around? Should I keep her? Should I block her, delete her? Should I follow her? This and that. Listen. This is what I think. I think that if you guys had a long relationship, like a girlfriend, boyfriend, and she's like your girlfriend, and it pains you to even see a picture of her, right? I would say drop contact completely. Some psychologists say 30 days, some say 6 months, whatever. Just completely delete everything off your phone, everything, because now you're very, very emotionally invested, and the road to recovery is faster when you're not constantly reminded of that person. Especially what if one day you see her with another man? That's gonna mess with you. So it's best to just delete everything. Now, for something more casual, long time casual thing, no. It may bother you a little bit to see her with another guy, to see her serious. It may be funny. You may think it is a joke, like, wow, this girl who I used to do this with is now, can't believe she's with a guy, right now, seriously. But always leave the back door open. There's no reason not to, That's a weird thing to say, leave the back door open. Leave the door open. And if she wants to ever, come back, depending on your morals and your personal standard, if she has a boyfriend or she wants to come back and see you again, hey, good for you, right? You're not chasing. You're just leaving the front door open just in case. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't be in her DMs. Don't. It's over. Let her come to you. Do not chase, or else you're in her frame. She made a decision to leave you. Let her pay for leaving you. Let her pay for that behavior, not you. You're not going to pay. And just know that if you feel some type of way, whether it's your girlfriend, plate, longtime casual partner, whatever it is, just know that these feelings are normal. Don't feel bad. It's okay to like, miss somebody. That's why I caution guys, like, if you have someone that you're not taking seriously, that's not your girlfriend, but you're spending a lot of time with them, you're going to get attached to them at least a little bit because you're spending time. It's human. You're a human being. You don't hang out with a girl twice a week and not get attached. If you imagine doing that for 6 months, 8 months, a year and a half, you're gonna get attached. You're gonna feel some type of way if she decides, hey, I can't do this anymore. Just be patient with yourself, but also have boundaries and standards. The number one thing I regret in the little times of my life that I've dealt with these situations is not doing things with dignity, right? Because I can get over a breakup emotionally, but looking back and seeing how terribly you handle it and how low you saw yourself, that you can laugh on it and get over it, but you will wish you would have gone about it differently. So yeah, on that, even alphas, like these super hyper alphas, like I had in my intro, they don't know how to act when someone leaves, but everyone gets attracted. Alphas get attached to their side chicks and mistresses all the time. It's just who we are as men. We're very protective. You have to learn that about yourself, but also you have a choice and you have an option not to look, to preserve your dignity in this dating market. And just want to talk about lastly, getting over loss. We are human, and we do feel some type of way when we lose a woman. If she's good, if she's bad, depending on how you look at it. I've had really good girls that, have given me the talk. They want to leave me. They don't want to ever see me again. And I wasn't ecstatic. I wasn't destroyed, but I wasn't ecstatic. I had to take a day or two to just, man, I really like that girl. And I've had girlfriends where, afterwards I just wasn't myself for like a month. It's normal. It's part of being a man. That doesn't mean proceed and be, a sad, piece of shit. It means that you're allowed to mourn and mourn healthily. Just look out your window, listen to some sad music once in a while, but don't put it on your friends. Don't put it on your family. Don't put it on the next girl that's on a date with you. Have fun, enjoy life, but set some time apart to mourn and to think of the good times, and then move on with the rest of your day. Don't make it your whole life, and please don't call her, don't text her, none of that. Just mourn and then move on. And over time, as you see other girls, it will go away. Everyone has gotten over a breakup. Everyone has. So you can do it too. It's interesting because the other day I was watching a video from the Lord of the Rings movie, the first one. One of the best works of art of all time, honestly. And there was a scene that really, I like to analyze movie scenes, and just I like art in general. As you can see, I'm a musician, so I like this stuff. And the scene that was very poignant, and I just kind of something clicked, is when Gandalf dies. Fly, you fools. He dies, and then the Fellowship leaves the mountain. And they're outside and they're mourning the death of Gandalf. Gandalf was very important to all of them in different ways, and you have these different ways of mourning from each character. You have the hobbits. The hobbits are just crying. They're emotional wrecks. They're just crying, depressed. They're just tears everywhere. You have Gimli, which is angry. He wants to go back in the mountain and fight and get Gandalf back, which that's not going to happen. And then you have Boromir. Boromir is give him a moment for pity's sake. He feels sorry for everyone. He wants to give everyone time to just process and mourn and grieve. And then you have Legolas, which he's in shock, he's in disbelief, he doesn't even understand what's happening. He's not used to these kind of situations, so he just looks around confused, trying to understand and try to empathize, but it seems that he can't, but he's trying his best. And then you have Aragorn, and Aragorn tells the Fellowship, hey, we have to leave. These mountains are going to be crawling with orcs. We have to leave. And you guys probably know where I'm going with this. Each one of those characters in that scene represent a different facet of mourning and letting go of someone, right? And when a girl leaves you, that's what happens. You go through all those phases, right? But guess what? Who has to be the predominant voice? Aragorn's voice, right? The one that says, hey, I know that you guys are sad. I know that Gimli, you're mad and you want to go back in there. Boromir, I know you want to give him more time to grieve. I know you want to give the hobbits more time to just be sad and cry. You know, Legolas, I know you want to give more time to just understand, but we have to move forward. And that's the lesson. You have to move forward. Even if all those other facets of your mind are telling you, hey, you can't, we have to stop here, we have to grieve, you have to at least take a step, because if not, it will be catastrophic for you, just like Aragorn said. Anyway, just want to thank you guys for watching this video. It was much longer than I expected. I tend to ramble a lot, so please excuse me. You can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com Calillo Nuclear, which is Nuclear Calillo, but just backwards. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and hopefully I'll get better at this and I can provide more insights, content, and actually useful stuff instead of arguments, you know? Alright, thanks.